I first got a job and moved to Berlin from Ohio. All of my friends were in D.C., in Detroit, in L.A., and this is when the Xbox originally came out, and somebody suggested that we all high school buddies and college buddies get Xboxes because you can play against each other and talk to each other. Yeah, but this was the first time. It was groundbreaking. It was almost magical when it first came out, and that's what really differentiated Xbox from any other console that had come before it.
Well, you know, in the early days, Xbox struggled, actually. Our first version of the product really had a hard fight with Sony. Sony had probably 60% market share. And Xbox Live was one of the two things, that and a game called Halo, that really saved the console and really gave us a chance to be successful. And so Xbox Live is a big deal.
Okay, but bringing it to current, I mean, you just saw these numbers, right? And there's speculation out there that, you know, is there really still a war between PS4 and the Xbox? Because maybe the PS4 has already won that war.
No, I think history would tell you that, A, you have to look at it by territory. So when you look in the grand total, Sony will benefit from a lot better sales in Japan than Xbox will. Xbox will do a little bit better in North America and Europe. So there's sort of the battle by country, in fact, which is what happens. It's also, the life cycle will be 5, 6, 7 years of each console. And consoles go in cycles based on what games are coming out. Microsoft has Halo 5 this year.
Not out yet.
Yeah, it's close, though.
Right, but they put the Xbox One out like a year before they came out with the new Halo, which is, a lot of people call it a Halo box, right?
And so you'll see how that plays out. And over the 5 years...
But what's going to differentiate, Robbie, between the two? I mean,
typically in the console space, it's not the box. Typically, it's the content. So it's the games, which is why Halo is an important game for Microsoft. Sony has its own set of important games. It's services like Xbox Live, which
I was going to say the streaming.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. All those things that people do on the box. In fact, once you own an Xbox or a PlayStation, you don't actually think about the console itself very often. You think about the controller and you think about the games and the things you do on it.
Although that wasn't the case when you came out with the first Xbox, right? Because there was nothing like it originally, and now the PS4 is almost identical with the exception of the games.
Well, and certainly what's happened in the industry is people have seen good ideas and they've copied them. And so, you know, we copied some things that Sony did originally a long time ago. They copied some things that we did with Xbox One, the original Xbox, and Xbox 360. And now there is, as you say, a little bit of a dogfight going on.
Okay, now I know you're here not just to talk to Matt, your devotee, but also your book, Xbox Revisited. Which you've got right there, and we're showing here. So why did you decide to write this book?
Well, so the book, when I left Microsoft, I said I want to have social impact. And so the book was an opportunity to take what I learned during that Xbox journey and apply it to civic issues. So I take a strategy framework we used to fix the Xbox business. That first Xbox business wasn't a great business. We fixed it with Xbox 360 using this thing called the 3P framework, and I talk about that in the book, and then apply it to civic issues. And
what is the 3P framework? What is
the 3P framework says if you want to build a strategy, you get 3 pages, and you have to tell me what your purpose is, the principles you're going to operate under, and the priorities you're going to pursue. And it's very concrete, very focused. And you take that and you can use it to attack complex, really complex problems.
So like what, Robbie? What are you?
So think about things in our current world. You know, we have a transportation issue in Seattle. How do we fix that problem? And it's a complex snarl of issues. You think about immigration. You think about our education system. There's all kinds of civic issues that we face. Infrastructure in the country. If you look at America's infrastructure, there's real challenges there. And the problem people have is the problem looks so daunting that the average citizen doesn't know how to influence it, and politicians are busy playing politics with it rather than trying to address it. And so the goal of the book and the goal of the 3P framework is to give you and I a way to be civic engineers and actually tackle some of these problems ourselves.
Robbie, before we go, what's the next big thing in video gaming?
Well, I think the industry would tell you virtual reality. There's a product called Oculus. Microsoft has a product called HoloLens. There's some other people working on things. And the concept is very cool. They got to productize it in a great way, and that'll be the determinant of whether it's successful or not.
What's your gamer tag?
Well, my gamer tag is old Xbox because my son took Xbox, which is XBACHS. So I have old Xbox now.
Oh, so now we know.
Yeah, that's exactly right.